Meine Damen und Herren. Take a look at this calling card from Black Ops 6 just for a second. At first glance, it looks alright, right? But upon closer inspection, you might notice some things that don't seem quite right. For example, her belt buckle that just kinda doesn't go anywhere. Her waist almost looks transparent around that area. And the more you look at it, the more you realize it doesn't actually make any sense. Same goes with the stuff over by her hand. From afar and at first glance, your brain tells you it looks normal, right? I guess it kind of looks like she's holding a gun, maybe, huh? And then the more you keep looking and digesting, the more you realize it's not really a gun. It's a gun-like object that just melts into her hand. And then there's more gun-like material over here on the other side of her hand. Am I supposed to believe this is one gun and that her hand is hiding the rest of it, perhaps? What kind of gun would that even be? Anyways, I think the point is, you're not supposed to dig too deep into it. Or rather, the men who acquire this calling card will never dig too deep into it, because look, there's boobies. Boobies. I mean, come on. Why would you look anywhere else? Okay, so, obviously, it appears that that calling card was made with the help of AI. Buzzword alert. Buzzword. He said the thing. AI. That's what everyone's talking about these days. But why should we care that video games are using AI to create assets? Huh? Well, like I said in the beginning, at first glance, it looks fine. So what's the prob, dog? AI is gonna get better anyways, and eventually you won't be able to tell the difference, even upon close inspection. Well, that is the problem. You see, human creativity has always been the difference. That is what separates us from the animals. That and our ability to make tools and be conscious and whatnot. But realistically, what do we have left if our creativity is taken from us and offloaded to machines? Hi, it's me from the future. After filming this video, Black Ops 7 released. Have a look at some of the wonderful calling cards that you are rewarded with in this game. That's a goodie. Oh yeah, look at that one, that's good. This one's good too, yeah. Oh, good. We might be cooked. We might be cooked. Anyways, back to the video. AI is slowly creeping up on us. I mean, if you lived on the internet, it might not seem like a very slow creep, or like a slap in the face from a massive robot dong every time you get an advertisement. It appears that everybody and their mother has a company that is AI focused now. In real life, however, the actual progression is fairly slow for now. But we are seeing more and more instances of AI usage in places that are a little bit questionable, if you ask me. The idea of AI replacing seemingly mundane tasks was one that most people didn't necessarily see a problem with. But this is not and will not be the line that AI stops at. There are two main types of AI usage we are seeing pop up right now, and those would be automative and augmentative. Some argue that if AI is replacing people in certain fields, then it's only because it's more efficient, and therefore those replacements are justified. This is the case when it comes to entry-level employment, where AI primarily automates work, right? Think crunching numbers, putting data in spreadsheets and whatnot. But these are automative uses, you see, where they completely automate a task and can fully replace a human whose job it was to crunch those numbers. And sometimes they are completely replacing humans, according to a study done by the Stanford Digital Economy Lab. Take a look. And as much as it completely blows for the people on the receiving end of this, getting shafted and fist-fucked by a robot losing their job, this is not the type of AI usage that I will be arguing against today. On the other hand, we have augmentative AI usage. Obviously, you might be able to tell by the name that this is the use of AI in order to aid in a human's work, making them more efficient than they would have otherwise been without it. This kind of AI usage is actually not particularly dangerous to one's employment. In fact, right now, there's actually growth in employment where AI is used to augment work. But this is the kind of AI usage I am arguing against, specifically using AI to augment creative work, okay? It is unclear why the developers of Black Ops 6 and now Black Ops 7 are using AI to create some assets in the game. I'm going to assume it might be because of time constraints placed on them by executive decision in which they decide it would be cheaper and more efficient to mass create AI calling cards rather than have to sit down and think up a whole new design 250 times, you know? Whatever the reasoning, though, it is no bueno, as they say over in Spain. I'm sure that everyone and their mother has heard about how AI is bad for the environment and it's not right, and somebody has probably connected AI to Donald Trump, and so if you use AI, then you support fascism or something, right? My God, how dull and annoying, you know? As far as I'm concerned, bollocks. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna listen to you if you sound like a child who can't control their emotions, and people aren't going to like you if you just call them a fascist and don't listen to what they have to say. Sorry, that conversation is for another time, but back to AI. There are two real reasons we should be worried about the current usage of AI, and they have nothing to do with who you voted for. Number one, it's going to make you fucking stupid, okay? Number two, it's gonna ruin human art and creativity. Over the past 20 years, we have become progressively stupider as a society. Fun fact, stupider is a real word, okay? It just makes you sound stupider when you use it, but as far as I'm concerned, you can fuck right off, okay? The Flynn effect is the observed increase in IQ over successive generations throughout the world since at least 1930, okay? Most of this is attributed to environmental factors rather than genetic. Basically, since 1930, there's been an increased access to education, better healthcare, greater abundance of information. Obviously, all of those things would result in children who grow up in a world that is more rewarding of intelligence, and access to said intelligence is more available to the general population. Well, I've got some bad news for you, okay? The Flynn effect is reversing. Yeah, we're getting stupider. I told you guys. Okay, but AI, as we know it right now, didn't exist back then, you know? That's what you might be saying right now. So what's the dealio? Well, if we put on our thinking caps for just 1 second, I know it's hard to do, but if you could just for 1 second think real hard. And the answer, Daily Double, is that thing you are holding in your hands right now. Yep, yeah, you, the one watching YouTube on your phone. Fun fact, the majority of my audience watches my videos on their phone. I didn't even know that was a thing people did, watching YouTube on your phone. What kind of psycho would do such a thing? Anyways, yes, your phone is making you stupider, which means that your parents were right. It is that goddamn phone. As James Marriott, a columnist for the Times of London, eloquently puts it, print requires us to make a logical case for a subject. A really significant feature of books is that if you make a case in print, you have to make it logically add up. You can't just assert things in the way you can on TikTok or on YouTube. Print privileges a whole way of thinking and a whole way of processing the world that is logical, that is more rational, that is more dense information, that is more intellectually challenging. If you lose these things in our culture, which I think we really are in the process of losing them, it's not surprising that people are getting stupider and that we seem to find that IQ is declining. And look, he said stupider. He used the word. I told you. Oh my God, I'm out of ammo. Hold on. Let me lock in. Oh, let me cook. Yep, there we go. What can I say? I'm cracked. Okay, so I've made my point about us getting stupider, but this video is about AI. Surely using AI is giving us an advantage over those nerds from 1960 who read books, huh? Stupid books. Wrong. Okay, you're wrong. You see, the problem comes when you reach for your phone to ask ChatGPT something, right? Usually, for most of human existence, when faced with a problem, we would use our brains to think critically about the situation and assess how to solve the problem. For example, if you are building a PC for the first time and you don't know what parts you need for it, you might pick up a book on how to build a PC, or even search the web for articles on how to build a PC. These two things still make great use of your critical thinking skills because you have to read the book or website, parse through what information might be useful for your situation, and learn about the intricate ins and outs of why you might want an AM4 setup over AM5, and how that affects what kind of motherboard and CPU you have to buy. Or you could open up ChatGPT, tell it that you want to build a PC, and ask it what parts to get. Now you've just offloaded all of your critical thinking to a machine. It'll give you back a list of parts, and now you'll put them together. You have no idea why these parts go together the way they do. You don't even know what these parts do. And if ChatGPT hallucinates, which it does a lot of, you might have just bought an AM5 CPU and an AM4 motherboard. That case doesn't fit that phone. My point is that there is an impact to the way your brain functions, when in all cases and scenarios, you need not research or put any effort into solving problems. According to a study done by researchers at MIT's Media Lab, users of AI chatbots had the lowest brain engagement and consistently underperformed at neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels. No. Nothing happened. I didn't die, okay? Just pretend you didn't see that. Anyways, in a Time magazine article discussing this study, the author of the article says, ironically, upon the paper's release, several social media users ran the study through AI chatbots in order to summarize it and then post the findings online. Yeah, we might be cooked, guys. Okay, isn't that hilarious though? A study done about how bad AI is for your brain. People couldn't even read. They had to have ChatGPT read it for them. But on our journey to get stupider as a race, surely we will have our creativities left to rely on to differentiate us from other walking meat sacks, right? You might hope so, but I don't think we will for very long. Art is how we express our humanity. When I listen to the Beatles, I'm not listening to them because of some mechanic formula that they devised that could be mimicked by a machine. I'm listening to them because I have a deep connection to the way that they created their art. Their experiences as humans led them to come together as a group and write the songs that they did, creating the specific sounds that accompanied the lyrics for a reason. All of this during a decade of social and political change that shaped their music, and in turn a decade that was shaped by their music. A machine cannot do that, and if it did do it, I wouldn't feel the same about it anyways, because it's not real. It's algorithmic, it's mechanical, it's soulless. Yes, it is soulless in content, but it's also literally soulless because it was not created by someone with a soul. When I say soul here, I just mean like human consciousness or whatever that is. You are not creating art when you are typing a prompt into a machine. I'm sorry, but you're just not. I've seen people on Reddit attempting to claim some sort of talent when it comes to their creation of AI art, and let me tell you, that's just the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard in my life, okay? And frankly, I don't care if you're watching this and you take offense to that, or I've hurt your feelings in some way. Go outside and draw a picture of a tree or something. Please, just do anything else. So when it comes to Call of Duty, using AI-generated assets in their games, what conclusion should we draw from this after discussing all that we have? Well, I don't think it would be far-fetched to say that they don't respect you as a player of their game. Obviously, there's plenty of other evidence to show that, especially in this hyper-corporate gaming landscape we find ourselves in today. But genuinely, being rewarded with an AI calling card after putting in the effort to do whatever the requirements were, is like being rewarded with a giant dong when you pull down the pants of a hot girl you were flirting with at the bar. It's unexpected for sure, maybe startling. You're saying to yourself, I guess I'll take it. Because at first glance you thought, wow, this is actually really impressive cock. Gotta give it up for that. But it's not what you wanted. You think harder about it and you realize it's got weird liminal space vibes. There's something not quite right about the situation you find yourselves in. The puzzle pieces don't fit quite right. Something square peg, round hole, right? They are laughing at you. The big corporations, the money-hungry game studios, they think you're a fool. They know that you'll buy the next game, and they know that they can cut their labor costs just a little bit more every year by slowly introducing machine-made soulless garbaggio, okay? And they hope you won't notice. And eventually you won't be able to notice. Until one day, years from now, you're sitting in your room on a beautiful, windy November night, jacking off to AI porn with TikTok open on your other monitor, being fed Hamburger Helper by your AI assistant, taking a shit at the same time, because your chair is also a toilet. And a brief thought scurries across the neurons in your brain, as if a mouse had somehow broken through your ear, and you allow that thought to blossom for just a second. You wonder, how did humans ever create such beautiful things as the Mona Lisa or the Great Gatsby? The thought leaves your mind as quickly as it came in, and you resume your masturbation.